party.
In accordance with this allocation. And this is Kohima block that our director and his team of scientists have visited yesterday.
First of all, I would like to thank Almighty God for blessing us this beautiful day. It's little over 2 years as an APC. The period of 2 years is interesting and amazing. About 7.5 months, we were all busy, and I was also busy fighting against the COVID first wave and second wave. Nevertheless, in spite of the pandemic, I would like to appreciate all the officers that you have done your job well. We have had a lot of coordination meeting between Agri and Allied Departments. I would also like to bring to your kind notice that you are the mother of all Agri and Allied Department. You are the parent department. As you are aware that many departments were bifurcated from the Agri Department. Soil Department, Water Resources, Fisheries, Veterinary, and so on and so forth. So you have a huge responsibility, and it is the duty of the parent department to coordinate with all the allied department and to guide and to nurture and to help the other allied department. I think we should all keep that in mind. The second important is about 70% of population lives in rural areas engaged in agriculture, which means your responsibility is to the tune of 14 lakh of population in our state. Out of 20 lakh, if you take 70%, that is 14 lakh of population. So you are not an ordinary person, you are a very important person when it comes to the responsibility and delivering the materials. The third is the land holding system of our state is quite peculiar, and the cultivation is quite peculiar. The traditional way of cultivation, which is zoom and shifting cultivation, is quite peculiar that our system of traditional cultivation is not adequately included in any curriculum of any university in our country nor in the world. You know, I was sharing the same thing during the time of Agriculture Minister Conference in Bangalore. Most of you who have done your agriculture, BSc or MSc or even doctorate, and you are scientists, but you have studied the syllabus which is not adequately address our system of cultivation in your village, in my village, in your state, and we need to ponder upon them. We need many scientists to come forward to write the uniqueness of our cultivation, which should be included in the syllabus of the university.
You see, I'm very fortunate to have the fourth APC in my 4.5 years time, to able to work with different, leaders from the progress. And this is the third director that I'm working in 4.5 years time. I've been made to be very comfortable with them when I worked. But very unfortunate that this corona and this pandemic has just held us for quite some time. And this is the fourth consultative meeting. Since the year, for a short time he was there, I could not make him available to make these things. But the first place, former APC in Kohima. Then Madam Usli stayed with me for a short period. Then again same thing here came, but his service was required to be posted to finance, so he could not stay long with me. Then I have a very special APC, my own brother with me, young, energetic. Then present director. There is always ups and downs in our working system. We cannot claim the champion of the perfect achievement. But today, I want to call upon my agriculture officers and the field workers and the workers working under the Directorate of Agriculture. We are lucky. The Prime Minister of India is focusing everything to farmers' perspective. If the nation is to be very strong, the best should be very strong. And that's why the farming communities are being addressed time and again. It's only special time and his focus in his political career is always towards farming community. And that's what we are happy. The farmers need and the farmers' requirement is to be addressed. But there are many schemes floated with us. But the system today in the changing scenario, the system is a little bit not comfortable to our system, what we have followed. So naturally, there will be some hiccup for some time, till such time we pick up. But it is made for all of us to immediately pick up how to acquainted to that guidelines and whatnot. Yes, there are areas, APC have highlighted, there are areas where you have to address the settled farmers, where you have to address the individual farmers. We also adopted the cluster system. What the APC is saying that about integrated settled farming, Naga movement. So when we said cluster, few villages are clubbed up together and made a cluster. So where you can emphasize about the integrated farming. The land holding system is quite different, that we all understand, but there are certain interested villages, if there is a potential area, if there is a friendly crops area, I think these villages, friendly villages, the integrated villages come together. They let them do it in their own land. There's no harm, but we can term it, we can designate them as integrated settled farming. Let them continue for some years, or shifting may be avoided by encouraging them certain inputs. But I would request the Directorate and the field officers to see that you and I go to the places, villages, encourage the community and authorize the community, and the community should take the leadership to come to that understanding and let them come up with their own concept. Thereby we can motivate them, and then beginning with all these things. So nothing is very, very different from us. Change is there, technology is there. So the technology may be a little bit differing to us, like we have 74 blocks at hand with us. 29 blocks are unbanked. So there, like my directorate and Agri and Allied people, single nodal agency, single nodal account is just affecting us. We have highlighted to the government of India stressing that these pockets are the difficult areas of our function. So a certain area should be considered, supposing Zimboto, one block which DO cannot commit. Draw dispersing can be also made from the DO, from the source. Because when there is no bank, the beneficiaries cannot draw these things on time. Therefore, that kind of a certain window should be open for us to facilitate these people so that on time transaction, on time disposing of the schemes. Otherwise, they question us. Here, state has, our state is non-resource state. So naturally, while routing through finance, it delays a little bit. So when they said in 21 days' time, it should reach Directorate account and should be communicated to the ministry, then only they start allowing the director to go ahead like that. And that kind of difficulties we are facing, but we are stressing. We have already apprised the Ministry of Agriculture, and we have also apprised all other related Agri and Allied friends, and I would approach Director and APC to see that APC Director, we are responsible, but in the ministry, take confidence of the Chief Secretary and let him write on behalf of us that these areas we are having difficulty, so certain relaxation should be extended to the department of this to accomplish the interest of the government. And we also have to struggle how to make this adjustment, but small things, if you keep yourself dumb and then telling the excuse of saying that this is the difficulty, but you have to come back to us, or you have to come back to your immediate officers how to do it. In time when there is a difficulty, you may need the intervention of the Deputy Commissioner of the district also, because DM of the district is very important. He can play a role more than a minister also, to give comment, to justify. That's why district magistrate, district deputy commissioners are being placed in all the respective districts. But if we sometime, instead of going to deputy commissioner, if you approach director and APC, the follow-up system will take another week's time like that. So get up. I apologize to my officers and all other Naga friends that due to pandemic, I could not explore all my intention in 4.5 years' time. Having been said that this is my 4th APC staying with, short time, this is the longest APC with me. And in short time, we gone too much. Lucky to have him Kunglemba, but after a year, he had some problem, health problem, and he had to go constant check up, and at last on the verge of retirement. He got operated from south, and he was not kept as it was. So I could not exercise all what I want. But it is never too late. So I want to request and appeal the officers. Now technology has come in. All the young agriculture officers, down from deputy director to SDOs and agri officers, I would request director and senior officers to make them use. And wherever there are difficulties in the districts, you have to conduct training, seminars, call progressive farmers, educate them. This is the incentive. You don't look beyond. But what is available will be extended to you. But if they can do something, it is their benefit. We are not going to take back anything. We are trying to see how to promote the farmers, how to protect our livelihood, to sustain ourselves in our today's day-to-day life. That's why government of the day, be it in the government of India or be in the state, we are all serious about agriculture and allied. I'm sorry to say that, but the Agri and Allied, even in the ministry, there some are already bifurcated, but almost all the Agri and Allied is under the Ministry of Agriculture. So function system is little different. Here, down to my water resource director, they have a chief engineer. Agriculture is at the mercy of irrigation engineering. So some gap is there. Now Ministry of Agriculture is asking us, I've endorsed it to APC, written to Chief Minister, to see that the Director of Agriculture should have full-fledged engineering wing. Most of the schemes are subject to engineering technical kind of things also. So we are insisted to have full-fledged engineering in the agriculture sector. So whether it will be made for allied or we look for ourselves that the APC and the Directorate will work out and come up, and that immediately that should be responded, and we should respond to government of India that this has been on the job, and we will see that.
Nagaland TV, Sop Manulaga Awas. Watch us live on Geo TV and on your television sets as well. For Dimapur viewers, we are on channel number 994 in Global Chapter, and Kohima and Mokokchung viewers, switch to channel number 138 on Hornbill Digital. For all news and updates, follow us on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and Twitter.